Our bent dumbbell row is a strength move for our back. Prime movers, or the main muscle groups that are being worked here, are going to be those muscles right in between those shoulder blades in that upper back. However, you're also utilizing the low back a lot here and a little bit of hamstrings and glutes to kind of stabilize and hold the position here. So if your low back is weak, it is not going to be a big surprise to start to feel it in that low back before that upper back starts to tire out. What you want to do is let that low back kind of dictate when you need to take breaks then, even if you feel like you can keep going with that upper body. And then as that low back starts to strengthen up from doing your exercises, it should be able to keep up a lot better with that upper back, and you'll start to fatigue more in that upper back instead of just fatiguing in the lower back. Let's go with setup here first. We're going to be feet about hip distance apart here. We're going to grab those dumbbells. We're going to hinge at the waist. Legs are going to bend slightly. Think about doing like a deadlift. So we're pushing those hips back. Legs are bending just a little bit, but we're keeping that back nice and straight as we hinge that torso over where it's getting close to parallel with the floor. Weights are then going to hang here right below the chest, so right in front of those legs. I'm going to lead with those elbows as I pull up, squeezing my shoulder blades together at the top, and then extend back down. Think about pressing that chest towards the floor at the top as my shoulder blades come back and squeeze it together. There's a lot of common mistakes made on this exercise. The first common mistake made is not getting hinged on over, and instead people kind of stand upright and shrug like this. This is going to engage a lot more of your traps and your shoulders up in here. Not really going to hit your upper back like we're trying to focus on. So make sure that you're hinged on over to where you're getting close to parallel with the floor so that we're working our back. Another big mistake made on this exercise is not keeping that back straight. It's getting that upper body parallel to the floor, but yet we're kind of rounding the back to get that chest parallel to the floor. Remember, this is a lot of hip movement, just like you would on a deadlift. So push the hips back. That allows you to keep that back nice and straight as we get into position here. Another common mistake made with this one is not having a good position at the bottom with those dumbbells. Sometimes people have them back here and they're kind of rowing up like this movement here. Again, engaging a lot more of our traps and up around our neck and shoulders. We want those weights to be underneath of the chest, and we want to pull those elbows back and up to where they're still underneath the chest. They're not up here. My elbows aren't flared out nice and wide up here. I'm going back and engaging that upper back here as I pull those elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades. Another really common mistake, getting the wrists involved in this movement. If you look at my wrists as I perform this movement, they stay in that neutral position. They're not really moving. They're just kind of hanging here. A lot of times I'll see people kind of curl the weights up in towards them as they come up. That's putting more transfer into your forearms and your wrists here. We want to put as much of that focus on that exercise into that back as we can. So leave those wrists kind of relaxed. We're not engaging the biceps as much besides just to kind of get those weights up a little bit with that back. We want to focus on those elbows coming back in, squeezing, wrist staying nice and relaxed here so we can keep that focus right where we want it to be.